Bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour. Alors voilà, on se retrouve pour la découverte de la 2.1 de Genshin Impact, tout simplement. Du coup, dans un premier lieu, on va découvrir le nouveau personnage qui est gratuit si on est AR20 et si on est sur PlayStation. On va découvrir Aloy, voilà, tout simplement. Ensuite, on va aller découvrir un peu, on va un peu continuer l'histoire, tout ça, que j'ai commencé dans mon live de hier. On va finir l'acte 1 et essayer de faire l'acte 2. Et puis vers 16h, je vais faire des invocations. Bon, j'ai pas beaucoup de primogèmes, donc je pense pas avoir Raiden tout de suite. Mais on va essayer vers 16h de l'avoir, tout simplement. Voilà. Les événements, tout ça. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a Ah, ça c'est les récompenses quotidiennes. Donnez-vous un jour. Terminer 4 missions quotidiennes. Entrer une fois dans la sérénité guerre. Terminer une expédition. Ok. 10 plats. Ouais, ça va. Ok. C'est un événement comme ça. Récompense x2 dans l'arbre pétrifié. Récompense x2 dans les fleurs de la fortune et de la révélation. Morée XP, artefact matériel. Ok. Ok. Ouais, du coup, on a des primogènes et tout. Récompense de retour. Wow. Ok. Et là, on a quoi? Chargement. Ah, aperçu de la 2.1. Alors, précision sur certains éléments de la mise à jour. Bonjour, chers voyageurs, de nouvelles îles attendent d'être explorées dans la version 2.1. Je me demande si de nouveaux amis s'y trouvent. Découvrons ensemble de nouveaux contenus, ouais. Des détails sur les événements. Ouais. Bon, je vais pas faire tout le patch note tout de suite. Ça risque d'être un peu long sinon. Si vous voulez voir le patch note, n'hésitez pas à me demander. Hein. On regardera avec plaisir. Début de la quête d'histoire de la Shogun Raiden. D'accord. Essayez s'adopter comme à chaque fois. Aliment astral, bénédiction. Oui, non mais ça y était déjà avant. Ravissez le pic brisé en suivant les bruits lointains du tonnerre. La manifestation du tonnerre prépare une tempête rebelle du haut de son sommet. D'accord. Ouais, donc l'événement en ce moment c'est ça. Ok. Ok. Alors le pass de combat.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the kingdom of darkness. The first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the kingdom of darkness. But take heart. A second crowned heir had already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
Ouais, j'ai déjà vu cette cinématique de passe, de bataille. Mais on recommence à 0. Ok, c'était la même cinématique, mais on recommence le truc à 0. Ok, j'ai pas tout compris. Alors, les vœux, voici... Ouais, non, ça... Faites pas attention à ça. Hein. Je l'ai pas encore fait, l'autre tentative. Ok, voilà la fameuse nouvelle bannière qu'on fera à 16h. Du coup, on va pas trop se spoil. La nouvelle bannière d'armes. Ok. Ok, ok. Les annonces. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans les annonces? Ouais, vous voyez pas les annonces. Bon, il y a des détails sur la mise à jour. Alloy. Comment obtenir Alloy? Ouais, ça je sais comment on fait pour l'avoir. Euh, comment obtenir le Predator Arc? Après la mise à jour, les voyageurs, au niveau d'aventure supérieur ou égal à 20. Oui, ok. Alors l'événement web. Encore un événement web. Ok. Compensation pour correction de bugs. Ouais, donc ça fait déjà 600 primogènes. On a Aloy et son arc. On récupère tout. Waouh. C'est une 5 étoiles. Ok. Je ne savais pas que c'était une 5 étoiles. Ok. On va la mettre dans notre équipe. Hein. On va la mettre à la place de Xiangling pour l'instant. Pour la tester. Et ok, elle a une couleur rouge. Donc elle n'est pas de la même rareté que les autres. Waouh. Elle est magnifique. Très belle, je trouve. Alors on va lui donner son arme. C'est celle-là, je crois. Predator, ouais. Voilà. On va le renforcer un peu. Voilà. On va lui mettre quelques petits artefacts. Ouais, mais par contre, je sais pas quoi lui mettre en artefact. Attaque, défense, maîtrise élémentaire, endurance max. On va lui mettre des artefacts pour l'attaque. On verra bien si ça suffit. On va mettre ça. Ah, j'ai plus de cœur de voyageur. Ouais, je vais faire ça. Non, je vais pas te parler. Va-t'en. Au revoir. Et là... Ok. Par contre, j'ai pas regardé quel élément elle avait. C'est l'élément cryo, je crois. Ouais, je crois bien que c'est l'élément cryo. Événement social, je regarderai moi-même parce que vous pourrez pas le voir, ça ouvre une page internet. Donc, ce serait un peu con que de faire un live et de regarder l'événement spécial alors que vous pouvez pas le voir. Ok. Ouais, on va la monter de niveau un peu, l'œil. Alors pour l'élever, il nous faut... Ça, on en a assez, c'est ça qui nous manque. Putain de spectre. Spectre de flottille contient une petite quantité d'énergie coquille spectrale. C'est quoi des spectres? Je sais pas du tout ce que c'est les spectres. Alors là, j'en sais rien. Bon, je sais pas. Hop, si vous savez ce que c'est les trucs là qu'il faut, n'hésitez pas. Alors, du coup, son attaque spéciale, c'est ça. Ça fait quoi? Ça doit sûrement geler les gens, non? Geler les ennemis ou un truc dans le genre. Je sais pas. Bah écoutez, on va retourner à Mondstadt pour le tester sur les ennemis. La tester sur les ennemis, pardon. On va aller ici. Où est-ce qu'il y a des mobs? En tout cas, elle est stylée, je trouve. Ah oui, il faut que je mette les ailes. Skin. Ah, les ailes bleues. Ils appellent ça des planeurs, mais... on va mettre celui-là. Voilà, ici, il y a des monstres. Ça va, elle est assez cool, je trouve. Ça dit que c'est quoi? Wow. Elle a l'air cool quand même. Hein. Elle est cool. Wow. Ouais, moi j'avais peur que ça allait être un perso pas ouf, mais en vrai, je trouve qu'elle est bien. Ouais, du coup j'ai les quêtes quotidiennes. Oh là là. Ouais. Ouais, j'ai eu d'autres. Il m'avait donné de nouvelles quêtes secondaires. Bon.
Let's dance.
Hop. Ouais, du coup je vais aller faire les quêtes quotidiennes et en même temps on va la tester. Par contre, c'est en niveau combien? 45, ouais, non. On va pas pouvoir...
With the wind! Wind blade!
Voilà. Donc ensuite. Ouais, du coup j'ai terminé un truc d'ici. Ouais, on va terminer l'émission quotidienne. Je trouve qu'elle est assez bien faite par rapport au jeu de base. Vachement tranquille tout.
These things
Voilà.
look like they could come in handy.
Elle est assez ressemblante. Et puis elle est assez mignonne je trouve. Enfin, après c'est toujours ce côté un peu kawaii. C'est toujours ce côté kawaii tout ça donc. Voilà. On se barre vite. Ah, un défi contre la montre. Génial. J'adore ça.
Orders given. Orders received. Rise.
Ah oui, je viens de remarquer que j'ai pas fait l'événement ICI c'est l'adopté.
With the wind!
Pourquoi ils prennent aucun dégât? Ah, parce qu'ils sont protégés par le truc. Ok, bah je m'en vais. Hein. Non, non, laissez-moi tranquille. Bon.
Wind blade!
Wheel of life.
Disappear!
Alors, au revoir. Il y a lui à tuer, mais j'ai un peu la flemme. Enfin, on va quand même aller... Non, on va pas tenter. On pouvait aller plus près. Ah, je savais pas qu'ici il y avait un téléporteur, ok. Allez. Il est chiant, je trouve, ce défi contre la montre. Bon, c'est l'un des plus faciles, je pense. Mais il est chiant. Enfin, de toute façon, tous les défis contre la montre sont chiants, donc... ça va pas changer grand-chose, vous allez me dire. Une quête. Ah, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Elle est où? Elle est où? 400 mètres, on peut se TP? Ah, si on peut se TP, ça va être simple. Ah, on peut.
You're stuck now. Ever seen one of these?
Ouais, ça c'est simple. Hein. Et voilà, on a terminé. Pour l'instant, j'ai rien à faire. Je vais passer plus tard. Alors. Bonjour Catherine. Ouais, bon. C'est pour ça que j'étais venu à la base. Voilà. Alors, un des nouveaux trucs en Inazuma. Ça. Pour l'instant, j'en ai pas besoin, donc je vais laisser comme c'est de base. Ah non, je vais peut-être en mettre un en Inazuma aussi. J'avais pas vu. On va les mettre là. Il y a personne qui a de... Non. On va mettre elle. Voilà. Du coup... Entrer une fois dans la sérénité hier, terminer une expédition. Cuisiner 10 plats. Ah ouais, on va les cuisiner 10 plats du coup. J'avais un peu oublié que c'était un truc de l'événement. On va tout cuisiner, tout. Ah bah voilà, bah, avec ça j'aurais terminé. Voilà. Consommer 80 résines originelles. C'est une nouvelle quête apparemment. Oui. Ah non, une nouvelle quête histoire. Ah oui, parce que j'ai gagné une clé. Voilà, du coup j'ai 2 clés. Ouais, je vais les garder pour l'instant. De succès. On va aller voir la sérénité hier. Et après je ferai l'événement essayer c'est l'adopter. Pour tester un peu les persos. Et voir qui est-ce que je veux entre Raiden ou Sarah.
Maybe.
Bonjour. Ouais, niveau 2. Du coup, ouais, là j'ai 2 places disponibles. Alors, je vais faire ça et ça. Voilà. Niveau de confiance. On va récupérer tout ça déjà. Récompense de niveau. Hop. Non, je vais pas aller là. Bazar du royaume. On peut encore en acheter 5, c'est ce que je fais. Chaque fois qu'il y en a, j'en achète. Comme ça, le jour où je voudrais farm la sérénité ailleurs, je pourrais. Mais là, j'ai pas trop envie de farm. En vrai, un champ, ça pourrait être cool. Un téléporteur. Je sais pas trop quoi prendre entre le champ ou le téléporteur. Bah, je vais prendre le téléporteur, puis je verrai bien. En fait, les champs, c'est pour faire pousser des trucs comme ça nous-mêmes. Ok, oh d'accord. Je pense faire pousser du muguet bleu parce que c'est un peu chiant à farm ça en vrai. Graines de queue de cheval, gueule du loup, d'accord. Ouais, je pense d'abord faire pousser le muguet bleu. J'en acheter comme ça la prochaine fois que j'achèterai le truc, j'en aurai. Parce que mon dieu, le muguet bleu, qu'est-ce que c'est chiant. Hop. Alors. Je vais mettre ça là-bas, hop. Je vais mettre ça ici. Je sais pas à quoi ça sert. On a tout eu. Okay. Partie 2. Il me reste quoi à faire? Obtenez 100 morceaux de bois, prenez 20 plans d'ameublement, fabriquez 20 décorations, placez 10 décorations rocheuses dans le même royaume, atteignez le niveau de confiance 3. Ouais, bon, c'est basique un peu. J'ai plein de plans. Je crois même que j'ai fini un truc. Ouais, voilà, j'en ai fini un. Donc j'ai eu des nouveaux plans encore une fois.
Let's get going. There are people who need our help.
Voilà. Un peu meublé à l'intérieur. Normalement j'ai eu des nouveaux trucs. Je vais mettre ça là. Oh, un animal. Attends, je vais le mettre à côté de Barbara. Et là, on a des 7. Voir les détails. Ouais. Non, voir les détails. Ouais, ok. Oh, un petit chat. Ah, il se promène en plus, ça c'est cool. C'est cool, c'est cool. Du coup... Bah du coup on va sortir, j'ai plus rien à faire ici. Du coup on va faire le essayer c'est l'adopter. C'est parti, allons tester Raiden. Voilà. C'est parti. Wow.
Torn to oblivion. Now you shall perish. Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. Illusion shot.
Voilà. Elle est cool. Biden elle est cool.
Now you shall perish.
Voilà. C'est un style de combat très dynamique. C'est cool je trouve.
There is no escape.
Ouais, je trouve ça cool. Ok. Alors on va aller tester Sarah. Je crois qu'elle s'appelle comme ça, Sarah. Ouais. Kuju Sarah. Allons la tester. Hop. Elle se voit avec un arc, je crois. Elle est vraiment là pour se battre de loin, elle. Je sais pas trop. Ouais, je sais pas trop.
Try not to enjoy this too much. Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Bon, en fait, je sais pas trop comment la jouer. Je sais pas trop comment elle se joue. Je suis assez sceptique. Hein. Je sais pas trop.
Come a little closer.
Glory to the Shogun! Flash!
Je sais pas trop, je suis assez sceptique. C'est... je sais pas. Je sais pas trop si elle est bien en fait. En fait, je sais pas trop comment la jouer. Parce qu'on voit son truc là, elle se téléporte. Et je sais pas ce que ça fait en fait. Je sais pas. Ouais, bon. Je sais pas trop. Biden, je valide. Voilà. Stara, je sais. Bah, je sais pas. Et Sucrose. On va quand même la faire pour avoir les récompenses, mais. C'est pas elle qu'on veut trop voir.
You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up. Come a little closer.
This moment will be frozen in time. Freeze!
Animal hypostasis emulation.
Ouais. Ouais. Je suis toujours sur le même avis, hein, pour Sarah, je sais pas. Je sais pas trop comment ça marche. Quelle heure il est? Ok. Ah là-bas, j'ai pas eu.
Come on. Enough standing around. Let's keep moving.
On peut continuer un peu cet événement-là. Consommer 80 résines au final.
One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and
Ça se tient sur un arbre congelé. Ouais, bon, écoute, je le ferai plus tard. Je vais continuer l'histoire là un peu. Niveau au salon de thé. Allons au salon de thé. Là, ici.
I'll protect us. According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation.
Are our clothes really so... what...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than me, in which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it.
Pas très aimable, hein, à Inazuma, les gens.
Well, now that we're here, where's... Paimon doesn't see him anywhere.
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Ah, now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright. I've had my fun.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly...
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you, so I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face...
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're...
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules. Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... Ah, so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence, but before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it.
C'est parti. Allons à la statue. Alors, vous vendez quoi ici? Vous vendez rien, ok. Ah bah, même les marchands sont très aimables. Wow, elle est belle la statue.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come... Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded...
Visions.
Des yeux divins.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity.
Oui, ça j'ai compris.
The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity.
Hein? Ah d'accord.
The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Sakoku Decree to... The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one, and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden...
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly, and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist, and Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since...
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
aspirations? That would seem to... Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents the... So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
Enfin. Bah, on est parti. Ah, c'est loin. Heureusement que j'ai pris tous les téléporteurs.
Place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be...
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep going on about? So... behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receive. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important...
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion. Especially following such a long... I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. And Toma assures me that you do at present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation with Traveler. Lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small...
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you...
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster did...
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will... Then you have my...
I'm sure you'll do great.
Salut. Salut Neka. Comment tu vas? Oh, ça va bien, ça va bien.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Bah, très cool, très très joli, le Inazuma. Il y a beaucoup d'énigmes, je trouve. Il y a beaucoup de choses à faire aussi. J'aime bien. Beaucoup trop, oui. Il y a beaucoup de choses à faire. Mais après, peut-être que... Après, c'est peut-être pareil à Mondstadt et à Liu. Parce que, en gros, Mondstadt et Liu, c'est pas des îles, donc c'est plus grand. Donc on a l'impression qu'il y en a moins. Alors que peut-être pas. Il y a peut-être autant de trucs à faire. Sauf que là, comme c'est une île, c'est plus petit.
Why are you doing this? Why...
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
Ouais, c'est vrai. Les énigmes d'Inazuma sont horribles, oui.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
À chaque fois que je croisais une énigme, j'essayais de la faire et puis j'abandonnais au bout d'un certain temps.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima. Tejima has protected this place ever since, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between... But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We will gladly apologize if that's the case.
If you want my opinion, something to do, it's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that
je suis très surpris par le gameplay d'Aloy. Elle est assez forte en vrai. Ça va. J'aime beaucoup son gameplay. Elle utilise un arc, elle est d'éléments cryo. Et moi je pensais que ça allait être un personnage qu'on allait vite passer à la trappe. Mais en vrai, elle est pas plus forte que les personnages 5 étoiles. Elle a un niveau à peu près 4 étoiles, je dirais. Même si elle est 5 étoiles, elle a un niveau de 4 étoiles. Et j'aime beaucoup son gameplay. J'avais très peur que ce serait un gameplay... Ouais. Je suis rassuré sur ce point-là.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Voilà. Ah oui, puis par contre pour la montée de niveau, je sais pas si tu saurais m'aider. Ça. Qu'est-ce que c'est des spectres? Est-ce que c'est des mobs que je croiserai plus tard en Inazuma? Ou... Je sais pas. Je sais pas où ça se trouve ça. Ok, des nouveaux mobs d'Inazuma. Ok, merci. Ouais. Bon, pour l'instant, elle est que niveau 20, mais... Je vais la montrer le niveau un peu plus tard. Et en vrai, elle est niveau 20, mais contre des Brocolinus. Ils étaient niveau 40, je crois. Elle les a quand même... juste elle les a tués en 2-3 minutes, à peu près. Elle a quand même mis un peu de temps par rapport aux autres persos, mais... Elle est cool.
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what true. But that's not, and what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took in the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead?
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to... But if you can't remember anything... Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some...
I keep a diary?
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to
Ok. Alors, où est son journal là?
This looks like Teijima's died. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to protect. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the... Seems like your average diary of daily... Huh? Wait! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most... Now that's the kind of info we're looking for!
Allons au sanctuaire. C'est juste à côté. C'est...
Teijima... interesting. Looking at the color and the design... But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental...
Hein? Attends, je comprends. Quoi? C'est ici du coup.
Here we are! This seems to be some... The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Teijima buried something precious here. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? Huh. So the reason Teijima came here, but he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess... Well, let's go give Teijima his...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess... But I have no memory of any... Still, it's clear that I was waiting for... Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could... And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regrets, everything I felt for her. No. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the thing... It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hate. I think... maybe not. If this is something I waited most... Although... What if she were to turn up eventually? Only to find I didn't remember so much as... When I think about it like that. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. Thank you both. I shall remain here and keep...
Teijima seems to be dealing... okay. But still, seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your... That certainly explains the state Teijima... At least we were able to help him. Well,
Le pauvre.
according to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kuro's...
What? We just happened to... We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us set... This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve with...
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want... maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to...
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supply, my own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even...
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your...
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. And it's not just that. I have this
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
He seems to be... But we better confirm. Let's go round up those We should be able to follow their tracks.
Unité secondaire. J'irai plus tard. Hein.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jack.
You haven't seen anything yet. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder.
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's...
Ouais. Allons leur donner une bonne leçon.
This'll pack a punch.
Ouais, si je me bats avec elle, ça va pas le faire. Elle est pas assez haut niveau.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with...
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom.
You've got a deal! Now show us what's in the...
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just...
Yes, so we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Allons à l'épicerie alors.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about. Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off...
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he could.
So that's how he was getting those emergency... But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increase...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. Especially so he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained, and...
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, if you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was... As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still... If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword? Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with... Oh, but before you go...
But we didn't...
Information is also a kind of commodity. Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out that... Let's go talk to Kurosawa again, and see if he can remember...
Ok. Allons-y.
What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said was true.
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by... I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he said to me, with this...
Hey! If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the... Can you recognize the words?
Virtue? And somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately and the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad.
Yet another troubled... When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yash... In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all it. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision.
Oui, heureusement on n'a pas d'œil Dieu.
Let's go find the next parcel. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all.
Maybe, but... Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live—
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something.
From the way you're dressed, Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I would... Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've... Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominents. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been... He says the strangest things over and over. And he refused... Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the Shrine Maiden, but if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll complete...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head Shrine Maiden is reputed to have very... Not that we'd have any means of involving the head Shrine Maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary Shrine Maidens from the Grand Narukami... So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more...
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
18h minuit. Ok.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei just now, when Nanako was attending to him. She heard when she asked him who the people were. He suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword master. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the Shrine Maidens managed to... The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious persons!
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? Unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the... And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by... I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Dom...
His senior? What?
Anzai. Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying Meikyo Shisui, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beam. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster, barely days into his training, I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
You're saying he isn't? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that...
Lady Yai? Is that... the same...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news!
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But Lady Yai can...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be... I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a...
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstood. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei,
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the... Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junya was so excited. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did... it was probably nothing. It's not...
Keep away.
Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please.
As you can see, Lady Ya, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all—
Lady Yi, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way,
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evils.
But then did...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into... as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. It does nothing to prevent his descent. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to...
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yi, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could have... There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated?
Lady Yi, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters. To focus when that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state much like a certain fatally flawed friend.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault, Father. Sensei.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai? Why are there two of you? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted... Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak.
But what if one day the same thing happens? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know, I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually... Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition... Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot... But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai...
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real... She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all... We can go back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kami's...
Allez, allons faire notre rapport. Ouais, AR32.
Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka!
Huh? No.
Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in...
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for...
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to have...
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place, but I believe that surely you understand what they must... It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. Now then. Given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komore Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the...
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. And even such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of
Oh, Paimon gets it! Got it.
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. Most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, it was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, after all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt decree is one of indifference.
Bah oui, parce que tout le monde n'a pas du divin.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on what...
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems.
Ah merde.
But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement.
Mon ordi qui flanche. Ah, c'est bon, tu l'entends.
Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms...
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is... For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit vision.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake vision?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan. By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your... When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There...
Okay. Allons-y. Allez.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the vision hunt, believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
Ah, il vient de le recevoir, il le reprenne déjà.
So this is the vision hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things. Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our... Come on! What's going on? Can't you see we need to go ahead? Shh! Quiet! Just sit tight and watch for a moment. Hey! This isn't right, you know! Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others in trouble! Huh? Hey, wait! You... Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
Alright, alright.
Wise choice.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him? This is your fault. You're the one who stopped us from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
Ah d'accord, il donne un faux seuil divin, d'accord. Foutu samouraï, oui, ils sont pas sympas. Ah, après, les samouraïs, ils obéissent juste à la shogun. Donc...
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon was about to unleash Paimonial wrath on Miss Yoimiya.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just didn't know it, you know? Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Yoimiya, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon...
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake vision. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine...
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition they deserve.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. But if I just march straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a whole heap of trouble. So, what about if I join you?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right...
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's...
Time to break him out!
Ouais. Bah, je pense que du coup j'allais le libérer. Puis à 16h, comme c'était prévu, on va faire les invocations là. C'est où? C'est où qu'il faut aller? Ah là. J'ai pas vu. Ouais. Merci, merci. Hop. Et en vrai, du coup, j'ai testé les personnages dans le essai et celle d'adopter. T'étais pas là, je crois, quand je l'ai fait. Raiden, elle est très 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 dynamique. Par contre, Sarah, j'ai pas trop compris comment est-ce qu'on l'a joué. C'est... Voilà, j'ai pas trop compris. Il nous faut un truc pyro. Ouais, bah je vais enlever Aloy parce qu'elle est pas assez haut niveau. Ouais. Aloy, elle est pas assez haut niveau, donc je l'utiliserai plus tard.
Come on, this way. As long as we stay quiet, I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Masakatsu and get out of here.
J'ai pas compris pour Sarah non plus. Ouais, c'est bizarre. Enfin, après si j'ai Sarah, je serais content parce que c'est un nouveau personnage, mais je sais pas si je la jouerai parce que pour moi, elle est pas ouf.
We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master Masakatsu. I'll be right back.
You sure? Alright then. Just be careful. Yes,
Allez, c'est parti. J'aurais dû prendre l'élément électro pour le voyageur. Je l'ai changé parce que j'en avais besoin pour de l'élément anémo pour farm un peu. Je bug. Ah. Ouais, de mon côté, le live est fluide. Le live est excellent apparemment, d'après Twitch. Donc je sais pas, ça doit venir de chez toi. Bonjour.
Nice. Show me what you've got. With the wind.
Voilà.
Battle formation.
Je suis d'accord.
I've lost.
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot
Bonjour.
tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Voilà, ils sont morts. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire avec ça? Je peux pas le taper. Écoute, je vais essayer d'avancer.
Teach me a lesson. Watch your step.
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
Show me what
wheel
you've
of
got.
life.
Soldiers,
Wind blade.
Don't look back. Take this. Show me what you've got.
With the wind.
Allow me to strike first. A word. I dare you. Train harder. I've been bested.
Heureux.
Let the show be.
T'as redémarré stream, ok. Peut-être que ça va régler tes soucis. J'espère pour toi. Ouais, j'attends que ça recharge un peu. Ah bonjour. Enchanté.
Show me what you've got. Clear cut. Show me what you've got.
You must withdraw. Disappear.
I dare you.
Windblade.
Don't hold back.
On va se soigner un peu. C'est un peu chaud.
Allow me to strike first. Show me what you've got. Clear cut. I dare you. Train harder.
Ah, c'est mon truc créatif.
I've been
Ouais.
bested.
Ah, j'ai réussi à y remonter. Ouais.
With the wind. Windblade.
Voilà. Ah bonjour Océane. Comment tu vas? Ça va.
Look over there. That must be Master Masakatsu.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool us?
Tu es venu pour les vœux?
Was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those Tenryo Commission brutes are torturing him. If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Yoimiya, when did you get back here? I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to
Bah, je continue un peu l'histoire, j'ai essayé Aloy, le personnage gratuit. Et puis du coup là je termine le donjon et on va aller faire les invocations.
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ah, ma'am. We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that? That's Kojo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kojo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military regulation.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy of the Tenryo Commission.
Yes, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Oh, I'm unsure what— Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masaka.
Yoimiya, are you sure now's the right—
Who is that?
Ouais, mauvaise idée.
Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean— Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fireworks!
Huh? Was that an explosion? It sounded like fireworks. Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals. I was particularly proud of this batch.
Yoimiya, this is turning into a—
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear. Now's our chance.
Ouais, dépêchons-nous. Bonjour WC Glider, je sais pas ce que t'as voulu écrire.
Yoimiya, is that you?
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long.
Oh, come on! We've got no time to lose! They could be back. Oh.
Yes. Leave. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right—
Well... You can bet we'll do all we can to keep that from—
Leave.
Ok, j'ai cru qu'on allait se combattre contre elle, mais non, apparemment. Bon bah c'est parti, on y va. On va pouvoir faire les vœux du coup, ça y est. Bon, il y a encore une cinématique.
Yes.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel? Can you—
Don't worry, I think I can make it to the infirmary.
Thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu.
Non, il n'y a pas qu'un seul truc dans le coffre. Ça change du début.
Right, Kujusara. Do you think she was making up? It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryo Commission. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
Ouais, avant d'aller annoncer la bonne nouvelle à Ayaka, on va faire nos vœux. J'ai gagné pas mal de primogènes, à ce que je vois. Voilà. Hop. Je vais me mettre à un bon endroit. Je vais aller là-bas en haut, c'est très joli. Avec le grand cerisier sacré là. Très joli. Voilà. Alors. C'est parti pour faire quelques petits vœux. Alors j'ai 5383 primogèmes. Je sais pas si là ça va suffire. On croise les doigts, ouais. Voilà. Du coup, alors, je vais vous expliquer un peu ce que je veux dans cette bannière. Déjà, la Shogun Raiden, je la veux. Voilà, ça c'est sûr. Mais bon, après si je l'ai pas, je serai déçu, mais bon. c'est le jeu. Sarah, si je l'ai, c'est bien, mais quand j'ai essayé, j'ai pas trop compris comment est-ce qu'on l'a joué. Océane, je sais pas toi si t'as compris comment la jouer, Sarah. Mais moi, j'ai pas compris. Sucrose, si je l'ai, c'est bien, je l'ai pas. Xiangling, si je l'ai, bah, c'est bien, parce que comme ça, je pourrais monter sa constellation et c'est toujours utile. Donc voilà. Mais ce que je vise quand même, c'est le 5 étoiles, avec Raiden. Voilà. Donc c'est parti pour faire les premiers 10 vœux. Et je crois que j'ai pas de poule, je crois que ça s'appelle. Je crois pas que j'en ai. Donc voilà. C'est parti. Confirmé. Attention, est-ce que je vais avoir quelque chose de bien? Moi aussi j'aimerais bien l'avoir, Sarah. Ouais. J'ai un arc. Ouais, j'ai eu l'arc, bon. C'est pas ouf. Allez, on continue. Ah, ça commence. Ok, on commence direct avec sucrose. Ok. Bon, je l'avais pas, donc... c'est cool. Merci. Après, je peux quand même avoir un deuxième personnage, hein, c'est pas impossible. Mais je pense pas vraiment. Ah, Sarah, bah voilà. J'ai eu Sarah. Ah là là. Elle est belle, hein, elle est très belle. Merci, merci. Voilà, j'ai eu Sarah. Bon, c'est cool. Prochain Baal. Je croise les doigts. Oui, moi aussi je croise les doigts pour avoir Baal. Mais... j'ai pas beaucoup de primogènes, donc en vrai, faut vraiment que j'ai beaucoup de chance. Allez, on tente. Bon, déjà, c'est pas une 5 étoiles. Ouais. Ah, j'ai une arme encore. Fluorescence. Bon. Est-ce que je peux encore en acheter dans la boutique avec leur truc? Des échanges astrales. Je peux encore en acheter 5. Non, la chance ne... Bah, j'ai quand même eu Sarah, c'est cool. Mais bon. J'aimerais quand même avoir... Non, ça je vais les garder pour l'instant. Bah du coup il reste que des singles, hein, parce que je peux plus... Ah, quoique, si je peux encore faire une. Après je préfère que des singles. Allez, on tente. Non, je l'ai pas. J'ai pas eu balle. Sucrose encore, ok. Ouais. Enfin, les singles, j'y crois beaucoup moins, mais ce serait bien que je l'ai dans les singles. Après, je peux pas faire beaucoup de singles, donc je sais pas trop. Bon, j'ai eu que sucrose cette fois-ci. Ok. C'est parti pour les singles, on tente. Ah, un violet, direct. Qu'est-ce que je vais avoir? Oh, Bennett, cool, je l'avais pas. Ah bah c'est cool ça. Je suis content, je ne l'avais pas. C'est cool. Allez, on continue. Ouais, là j'ai une arme, hein, c'est pas ouf. Voilà, et la dernière single, parce qu'après je n'ai plus de primogème. Ouais, une arme. Bon. Voilà, j'ai plus de primogème. Après, je peux toujours farmer des primogèmes pour revenir sur la bannière après. Mais bon. Mais je suis quand même content, j'ai eu Sarah, même si je sais pas comment on la joue, mais j'étais quand même eu. Ah, c'est vrai, oui, c'est vrai, j'avais oublié. Merci de me le rappeler. C'est vrai, j'avais oublié. Ouais, je voudrais en acheter. Je peux en avoir 2. Et là, je peux plus en acheter de toute façon. On va te... C'est vrai, j'avais oublié que j'en avais. Allez, c'est parti. Non, là, y a rien. Allez, dernier single, après je peux plus. Attention. Non, j'ai pas. J'ai rien. Bon, bah voilà. Voilà. C'était... un arc pourri. Ah, ça servira toujours pour les faire monter de niveau, mes armes. Alors du coup, j'ai eu Sarah, Sucrose 2 fois, donc je pourrais monter la constellation une fois de Sucrose, je pourrais la monter en C1. Et j'ai eu Bennett, que je n'avais pas. Et apparemment il est bien, Bennett. Donc alors, Sucrose, voici Sucrose. Je sais pas trop si Sucrose elle est bien. Voilà. Mince. Je sais pas trop si elle est bien, Sucrose. Sarah. Kujo Sarah. Voilà. Elle, j'ai pas trop compris comment on l'a joué. Voilà. Et Bennett. Je vais les mettre dans mon équipe. Je vais un peu voir les attaques qu'ils ont, tout ça. Avant de les monter de niveau. Alors Bennett, on va le mettre à la place d'elle. Bennett. Et à la place de Barbara, on va mettre Sarah. Ouais, en fait c'est son attaque pour se téléporter, je comprends pas comment elle marche. Non, je comprends pas trop comment ça marche son attaque pour se téléporter, Elle peut se téléporter, ouais, mais ça avait pas l'air de faire de dégâts aux ennemis, donc je sais pas trop. J'aime trop... Ouais, le perso il est stylé. Mais je comprends pas trop comment on joue avec. Je suis content de l'avoir eu, mais je sais pas si je joue avec, parce que... Après, je regarderai peut-être des vidéos, parce qu'il y a pas mal de vidéos qui vont sortir, je pense, qui expliquent comment... qui expliqueront sûrement comment la jouer et tout, mais... Ouais. Voilà, c'est mon avis sur Sarah, pour l'instant. Et ensuite, on a Bennett. Ok, ça, il attaque avec une seule épée. Ouais. En vrai, il a l'air pas mal, Bennett. Voilà. Bon, en attendant de les monter, je vais remettre ma team comme elle était. Je vais remettre Aloy, du coup. Elle est où? Elle est là. Et on va remettre Barbara qui est là. Voilà. Ouais, faut tester. Je vais les monter petit à petit. Ah, bah de toute façon je vais arrêter le live là parce que je peux plus liver après. Donc je vais l'arrêter là. Et je pense refaire un live samedi. Si je suis pas trop surchargé par les devoirs parce que c'est la rentrée et tout ça. Voilà. Donc je pense en refaire un live samedi, si tout se passe bien. Demain, après c'est la rentrée, donc je verrai bien. Merci, merci. Bonne après-midi à toi aussi. Et voilà. Après, je sais pas si toi tu reprends les cours, mais si tu reprends les cours, bon courage à toi aussi. Voilà, donc bah, je vais m'arrêter là, je vais continuer l'histoire de mon côté un peu. Je vais monter Sarah, je vais me renseigner comment est-ce qu'on la joue, parce que bon... J'aimerais bien réussir à la jouer, quoi. J'ai dépensé plein de primogèmes pour l'avoir. Donc si je la joue pas, ça servira un peu à rien. Bennett, j'ai aussi me renseigner un peu sur Bennett, comment est-ce qu'on le joue, tout ça, tout ça. Voilà. Bon bah voilà, du coup on va s'arrêter là pour ce petit live qui était sympathique. Un petit live chill sur Genshin. Voilà. Donc il y aura peut-être un nouveau live samedi. Si tout se passe bien, si je suis pas surchargé de travail et tout ça. Si je suis surchargé de travail, pas de live, ça c'est sûr. Bah voilà. Bah du coup, je vous dis à la prochaine pour un prochain live. Et puis bah salut tout le monde, à bientôt, j'espère.